That Apollo Kamau has been a senior political reporter on ground from the time President William Ruto officially or formally announced the demise of the Right Honorable Raila Odinga. So he's been on the other side of the city, or better yet, the Nyanza side of the country, following up on the events. And I think we now cross over to him live for a recap of the events, but largely for, his view on what then next, or what's happening down there. Apollo Kamau, if you can hear me.
Yes, Linda, I can hear you. And this evening, Kenya's political colossus, former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, was this late afternoon laid to rest in a ceremony befitting a former Prime Minister or a former head of state, in a ceremony that also was full of goodwill messages, where he was commended and praised for being a patriot and a Pan-Africanist, a message which united the opposition and the administration, and also a ceremony which brought leaders from far and wide, including his close friend and former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo. We had our country's two presidents, former President Uhuru Kenyatta and President William Ruto, leaders from all walks of life, all coming together to pay tribute to this great man who will be remembered for fighting for the struggle and liberation of this country across the democratic and justice sectors. Now, after he was rested this afternoon, we had hundreds of mourners streaming to the homestead of his father, Jaramogi, just trying to catch a glimpse of the man they loved so much, their leader, their beloved Baba, and they overpowered the police. And remember, the KDF officers were the one who were manning the gates to Jaramogi Oginga's homestead, and they did overpower the security personnel, made their way inside, climbed on the roof of the house, and they made sure they were part of the final event where the grave was being sealed, also being part of the concrete mixing and whatever was being done on the top of the grave to preserve the grave alongside the grave of his father. So, Linda, this was a very befitting send-off, and starting this morning, a lot has happened. And for most people, this moment was a moment of reflecting, and also there were unexpectations. There were moments people did not expect would turn out the way they turned out to be, but people behaved and came out in their numbers calmly and in peaceful manner, just as Raila Odinga and other leaders appealed to them to give them a befitting send-off to their father, a husband, and a leader. And moving on from here, the question is, what next? And what next, it means in terms of the opposition politics. What next in terms of ODM leadership? And what next to people who all along the 3 decades Odinga has been involved in the country's politics have looked upon him as their leader and their mentor. And we had the issue of ODM dominating the funeral, the future of the party, that Odinga did not see the way he wanted the event of celebrating the party that he has built from scratch turn out to be, because he sadly passed off before they could do the main event of celebrating 20 years of ODM existence. And we had President William Ruto there wading himself into the politics of the party, saying he will not allow ODM to collapse. And this is after ODM leaders displayed and differed on the podium. We had the likes of Homa Bay Governor Gladys Wanga. We had the likes of ODM Party Secretary General Edwin Sifuna giving different pointers on the future of the party. Sifuna on one hand saying, we want to be in the ballot as a party with a presidential candidate. And then you have a host of cabinet secretaries led by Opio Wandai, John Badi, and Wycliffe Oparanya, Beatrice School, saying the message that was left to the party by Odinga is for them to remain in the broad-based government. So a lot was happening there, and even when the leaders turned up to speak, when there were introductions being made, you could hear how people reacted to the various leaders who were being called out in terms of acknowledging their presence. You could hear how the crowd reacted, and also it tells you how people appreciate this moment, and it also serves as a pointer to the direction the politics of the opposition and also this region will take, Linda.
All right, thank you. Apollo, down on ground, just what do you hear the people of Nyanza say as to specifically their politics? So maybe they have just been drawn to mourning and they have stuck at that?
They see and perceive and hold in their hearts that Odinga is a glue. He is a unifier that unites not just opposition politics, but the entire region as they have come to know him. And also in the party ODM itself, he is a glue, they are saying that. And they are saying no one in that party can be able to rally the support and the unity that Odinga wielded when he was the party leader. And therefore, the challenge now for the party is the emerging crop of young leaders, the likes of Embakasi East MP Babu Owino, the likes of Edwin Sifuna, and then we have the old guard, the likes of Dr. Oburu Odinga, we have the likes of people like Opio Wandai, James Badi. There appears to be this emergence of two factions which have different ideas, ideals, and ideology for the party. And when you speak to the people here, they seem to be taking sides, and that tells you that things will be different moving forward. There are some who are supporting that ODM remains in the broad-based arrangement. There are those who are saying it's time for the party to chart a new path forward. And there are those who are blaming Odinga, also saying he did not groom someone to take over from him. And if he had appointed someone or anointed someone to take over, it could have been different. But now this is a new chapter. It's a new era without him. That means people have to fight for space. There's no longer Odinga to endorse you, Odinga to hang on to his coattails. It means you have to fight, you have to prove. People are now looking for record. People are looking for leaders with a different set of mindset, and therefore this is gonna be a different new era of politics, not just here in Nyanza, but across the country as far as opposition politics is concerned, Linda.
Thank you so much, Apollo. I'm sure we'll be getting back to you, of course, before you get to leave and back to Nairobi. Now, the nation today